Hello, and welcome to Holistic Lifestyle Tips, Getting Real About the Woo-Woo. I am Becky Russell, owner of wellness company Hope Essential, and I am an essential oil educator and a holistic lifestyle educator. I just love to teach. And I started this series with the intention of empowering you with your health, and so that you know you have choices. And it was important to me to have those choices because the women in my family, once they turn 40, they're diagnosed, some of them, with type 2 diabetes. And when I was in my mid 30s, I was diagnosed as a pre-diabetic. So I could see what was probably going to happen because of genes, honestly. And I chose a different path than the traditional way of approaching that. And it served me well. I'm 63 and I am not even considered pre-diabetic and haven't been for quite a while. So I just want to share what's helped me throughout the 25 plus years of holistic living to try and help you. So every week we talk about either emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, or physical wellness, because holistic is about treating the entire body, mind, body, and soul, and getting to the root of what's going on, not just treating symptoms. So I am so excited. I have a guest today, Megan Potter, and I've known her for a while. We're just reconnecting, and it's just been a joy talking with her before we started filming. And Megan is a relationship coach and wedding officiant. And so we are going to talk tonight about emotional wellness and mental wellness, especially how that is regarding the individual. So Megan, thank you for coming and being my guest today. And I can't wait to hear more about what you do. And introduce yourself a little bit and tell us more.
Thank you so much for having me, Becky. I'm really excited to talk to you all today. So my name is Megan Potter. And when I met Becky last time, I had a different name because I've had a big life change since then. I became a widow at 28, and that just changed my life. And it really, I knew emotional, physical, and spiritual wellness were important before, but through grief and through my education and everything, it's led me to where I am today. So who am I? Okay, my name is Megan Potter. I have my undergrad degrees are in religion and psychology, and I have a master's in pastoral care. So what that means is I really care about people, and I wanted to take my passions, learn more about them, and then turn that into a career. And so what I have done is now I still have a foot in the wedding industry. I do wedding officiating and premarital counseling because I really believe in helping people get a really healthy and good start to marriage, and helping them answer hard questions, and is this the person you want to be with, all that. And that has also turned into, I do one-on-one sessions with women, I do marriage sessions with couples, and I also do some intensive work with women as well. So I work with women and couples. That's my main jam, just in different ways. So today what I wanted to talk about is emotional wellness and mental wellness. I just think it's so important. And so I think I've told Becky I'm going to go broad and kind of come down and explain more about what I do. So I'll just do a plug right now. I'm on Instagram as Megan Potter _coach. That's who I am. But just in case I forget to say that later. But anyway, I see people struggling and it hurts my heart. So I realized that women especially needed a different outlet, because sometimes to go into a therapy office or to go to a psychiatrist or a therapist can be really daunting. So you want somebody that has very similar training like I do, but I do virtual sessions. And so I always say you can do it from the comfort of your own couch. And then a lot of moms I have a lot of mom clients, and sometimes they do it while they're waiting in line in the pickup line at school. They get there early and they do a session with me before they pick up their kids. So
Wow, that is very creative.
yes, one of my clients did that. I talked about it on Instagram, and then I had some other moms sign up right after because they were like, oh, I could do that, because so often I think, especially parents, they think like, I don't have time, I'm raising kids, I'm doing this. And I'm like, you spend 30 minutes waiting in the pickup line. Why don't you go 30 minutes early? And then you can get a full hour session, and you can work on your mental and spiritual and physical and emotional wellness right there in the car with me.
And you'll be first in line.
Yes, and they're first in line, so they get their kids. Yes, exactly. So that's one of a newer thing that I'm doing with moms right now that's really fun. And it's really cool because my clients essentially tell me what they need. One of the things that I like in working from home and doing the sessions virtually is I can keep my hours kind of flexible. And so, yes, I offer evening sessions, especially for couples, because oftentimes they have to get off work. And so I do evening sessions. But then I do during the day for people who work from home or lunch break or moms. So, I try to keep that open. So, okay. So why is emotional wellness? I'm going to talk about that. I think so often we can get exhausted or frustrated with our loved ones, maybe with our partner or our friends, and we're just feeling this like, oh, something's just off and I just feel bad. And a lot of times I think it's because we don't have a healthy outlet to talk through our pain or talk through our trauma or talk through our emotions. And so I help clients learn self-care skills. Like maybe it's just, hey, you need to journal. And for some of them, they might be like, well, I hate journaling. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll come up with a new self-care technique. I get to know my clients, and I feel honored to get to be a part of their lives. And so by getting to know them, we come up with something that is a healthy self-care technique for them. And for those of you who might not know about self-care, which I'm sure Becky has talked about, but self-care is, it's a practice that literally cares for self. It can be an emotional, physical, or spiritual practice. It can be working out or moving your body. That can be self-care. But for some people, self-care is taking deep breathing, doing yoga, journaling. It's multiple things. It's more than just getting a manicure, right? Like it's not necessarily something you pay a lot of money for to just super bougie stuff. It's not necessarily that. It is stuff that actually changes you. It's stuff that rewires your brain, that changes the inside of you. So okay, I've lost my spot. So Becky, do you have any questions right now for me?
Well, I agree with you. I know that anytime I've had counseling, I leave there feeling so good. The weight is lifted off my shoulders. Someone has seen me and heard me.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times that's, as women, we are so busy taking care of other people that we're not getting our needs met, and we don't even know it.
Yeah.
And so we're just spinning. And then sometimes it just gets to the point where, like you were saying, you've got to let it out. You need some sort of tool to help you be seen and heard.
Yeah.
And
I think too, some people think, well, I can just talk to my partner, or I can just talk to my best friend. Well, that is helpful, and that is a way of like getting it out. But oftentimes, especially if you have awesome best friends, they're just like, yeah, be mad. Like, yeah, how horrible, and that's supportive. And there's a time and place for that. But sometimes we need to move past the pain. Sometimes we need to move through the hurt. And oftentimes that's more than maybe our friends or our partner can help us with, because they've got their own problems and they've got their own stuff, and they're not trained. I think there's a huge that is a huge thing. Just like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of someone who's just like when we go to the doctor, we go to the doctor because they are trained in that. That's what they know about. That is their job. And so I think that's why it's important to seek help through a therapist, a psychologist, a counselor, a coach, whatever. All of those people have different forms of training. It's just what you need, right? And if you really want, if you're needing medication or something, then you go to a psychologist, right? Like they're the only ones that can give you that. If you want some help and you've got holistic help and you're doing doTERRA and you're working on these things, but you're like, I need something for my emotional health doesn't feel right. Like I have a pit in my stomach and I feel my chest feels tight and like I need some more help, then I recommend talking to a professional. And so that's where I come in. And, we're trained to help you get better tools for handling the hard stuff. And we're trained to listen and we're trained to, take that. Like that's our job, is to listen to all that. Because sometimes too, maybe you have something really hard you're struggling with and you don't want to dump it on your friend. Like you feel like, well, I don't want to put that burden on them. Well, that's why you hire someone. That is why, that's what we're here for, is to take that burden and to help you work through it. And so I feel so honored, I could cry, that I get to be a part of people's lives. I get to walk through some of their hardest times. I've helped many women walking through divorce, separation, walking through miscarriage, walking through trouble with their partners, with their siblings, with their parents, just really a lot of hurt, walking through like breaking up with their best friend, things like that. I've gotten to be a part of people's lives in each step. And I feel so honored because that's a sacred space, in my opinion. Like that is such an honor, because it's such an intimate place, and it's so hard, like for someone to share that pain. It's hard to be honest about our pain. And so I'm so honored to get to walk through that with people. And I really just want to encourage you that if you've never seen someone, if you've never seen a counselor or a therapist or a coach, I really encourage you to do that. And just do a checkup. A lot of times, one of the things I offer is marriage check-ins. So say you're married and you're like, well, we don't need marriage counseling. Okay, cool. Like, that's great. But think about the fact that like you take your car in for an oil change, right? You take it in for regular maintenance. Like, is your car messed up because you need an oil change? No, like our car runs fine, but we get an oil change because we know that that's part of just the maintenance, the upkeep. We want to make sure everything is good. You go to the doctor for a checkup just to make sure everything's good. I believe we need to do the same things about our emotional relationships, right?
Yeah.
I believe we need to do the same thing about our marriage. Once a year or a couple times a year, just go to someone, go to a marriage counselor, come to me and just check in. It's literally like a checkup for your marriage to make sure you're on the right track. And there's always something that we can improve on. And Absolutely. I can help you with that.
I love that idea. And I truly believe it takes a village to be well in every wellness, physical, spiritual, emotional. It's not just essential oils. It's not just therapy. It's not one thing. It's many. And the other thing I just want to add is I come across so many women who, well, men typically just dismiss help with emotion and things like that. There's still that stigma, unfortunately. Women may not dismiss it, but they are too busy and they do not want to spend money on themselves like that. Yeah. And so my response to that is, if your child or your spouse or your sister, sibling, whatever, needed help with some sort of trauma or just whatever they're going through, would you not do everything you could to help them? Make sure they get the help they need because they're struggling. Would you not, if you had to give up your Starbucks coffee every week to be able to help them pay for it. If you had to mortgage your house to help your child who has just been diagnosed with something, would you not do everything you could to make sure they were healthy and well? Oh, of course they would, but they won't do that for themselves. And what I'm hearing more and more is the women are the glue in families. They're the glue. The husband is, I don't want to be stereotypical, but it is what it is. But typically, the woman is the glue, the man is the rock. And those two things together are awesome. But when one is crumbling or one is breaking apart, that is not good. And so to not take care of yourself, to not give, to value yourself, you're hurting those people you love because you are the glue. So I know the first time my husband told me that when we were having a family discussion, and he said I was the glue of the family. I'm the glue. I had no idea. But yeah, I think it's so important. We need to work on getting rid of that stigma about mental, emotional wellness. And it's so great that there's people like you that can help. So we've sort of touched on it, but who needs your services? Who should reach out to you?
Yeah, so any couple, like at any stage, I also, many people who are in a serious dating relationship, they also take my premarital counseling. So you don't have to be engaged, but they take it just to make sure that, marriage is the next step they want. So dating, engaged, married couples, all three of those, and then women. I do not work with men one-on-one just because women are really my passion, and that's so couples and then women. And yes, you brought a great point that so many women struggle, but I'll pay anything for my child, I'll pay anything for my partner, I'll pay anything for my friend, but I won't pay for me. I have a few of those clients right now that they reach out and they'd be like, yeah, I want to work with you. And I was like, okay. And I'd just wait. And then they'd see a post on Instagram or something and be like, okay, I felt like you said that to me. Like I've got to sign up, so definitely follow me on Instagram, because even if you don't, even if you already have a therapist or something, I'd love for you to follow me on Instagram, because I love to give tips for relationships and just healthy wellness and challenges on how you can grow. I just love to help people grow. And so yeah, women in any stage of life. I work with young women. I work with older women, any stage of life, women, I'd be happy to work with you. You do not have to have a trauma or a hardship that you're going through to work with me. Sometimes it's great to go ahead and get someone you trust and start working with them for a little bit. And then, you can put it on hold. And then if you do have a hard time, you already have someone you can trust and you can come back to and work with. Several of my women work with me every week, and they're like, they tell me, it's the best part of my week. Like, yep. I get to share and make it about me. And it's not selfish, like Becky said earlier. It's not selfish to make it about you, because actually when you're taking care of your own mental and emotional health, when you're choosing wellness, you're actually going to be a better wife, mom, and friend to the people around you. So you're going to be the best version of yourself if you choose to get some help and to just have somebody on your team.
I love that. So we know how to reach you on Instagram. How else can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so my website is megan-potter.com. So that's megan-potter.com. Has everything that you could need to know about my services on there. I also do a women's empowerment program. I've not shared this. It's a 12-week intensive program where we focus on confidence, just believing in yourself, finding the best version of you. That is for women of all ages, because we want you to be living the best version of you. And
I love it.
I specialize that to you. So yeah, megan-potter.com. And then there's the contact form there. You can contact me right through there.
And then after this is posted, then I will invite you to come in and put in that information yourself so that they can sort of, if they're not, they don't have a pen handy or something, they can see that.
Okay.
And then I always like to end the interview with a fun question. So where is your happy place?
Well, first, my happy place is anywhere this little guy is.
Aww.
But this is Tucker, and he's he's 7. He's a miniature schnauzer. My happy place would be on the beach, and I have recently taken up reading as self-care. And I like to take this little guy with me and my husband. But yeah, on the beach, reading with just relaxing. It would be.
That is awesome. Love it. Love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And as always, we could talk for hours. I just love your energy, your heart, and spreading that message that it is a sign of strength to get help, that we've got to make that the normal thing. We have to. So, and I just want to remind everyone too that you can follow me on Facebook at Hope Essential LLC, a business page. And my website is hopeessential.com. I'm not a big Instagram person. I'm on there, but that's not really where I hang out, mostly Facebook. And there's tips and, education about the oils and holistic living. So as always, till next time, choose you, choose natural, choose now. Bye.